Welcome back to the Porsche Car Whisperer video. If it's your first time checking out my channel, my name is Mason Gilchrist, and on this channel I cover everything Porsche. And for those of you who have been viewing my channel for quite some time, a while back I did a build video on a Porsche Taycan trying to keep it under $100,000. So today I'm going to be doing an update to that video as the price has increased on the rear-wheel drive variant. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so before we hop behind the computer and start on our Taycan rear-wheel drive, trying to keep it under $100,000, I want to take a moment to talk about the t-shirt that I'm wearing. I've been working on some pretty cool Porsche t-shirt designs for quite some time, and if you guys want to check those out, they're going to be at Pcarwhisperer.com. Link will be down below. I'm wearing one of my Taycan designs today, as I thought it was pretty fitting as we're going to be building a Porsche Taycan today. So let's go and hop behind the computer and try to keep this build under $100,000. So we are here on the US Porsche configurator. I'm going to go up to Taycan, build your Porsche. And we can see here, it's going to be the very first one. It says $86,700. Now that's before destination charge. So it's increased quite a bit since that last video we did building a 2021 Taycan rear-wheel drive. Part of the reason I wanted to update this video. So we're going to go ahead and start here. Again, we're at $88,150. So we're already less than $12,000 before we hit that $100,000 marker. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and keep the standard white or black, as I don't have a lot of extra room to change the color in this circumstance, so we're going to stick with the white. Now that brings us to the wheels. I'm not the largest fan of the standard 19-inch Taycan Aero S wheels, so I would recommend upgrading the wheels to either the Aero wheel, the Turbo Aero wheel, or just the Sport Aero wheel. In this case, I'm going to do the Taycan Turbo Aero wheel. It's going to upgrade it. It's going to look quite a bit better, but it's not going to break the bank here trying to get us to 100K. You can see that looks quite a bit better in this circumstance. Now, as soon as we go down here, we can change the wheel colors, and we can also change the wheel accessories, maybe add all-season tires if we're in a climate where it's a little bit cooler and maybe you have a lot of rain, snow, and also sun. So maybe that's something you may want to add. Now, in the past, Porsche added locking wheel bolts as standard. That is now going to be an option under the wheel accessories section. It's a $60 option, and Porsche's actually changed the style of the locking bolt as well. In the past, it was more of a spline style. Now we have what's called a Thatcham style, which Porsche used quite a while ago, but it's more of like an internal key inside that locking wheel bolt. This is something I would add, especially for 60 bucks. I don't want my Taycan wheels being stolen, as they're pretty expensive to replace, a lot more than that $2,300 for the entire wheel set. So I would highly recommend getting those locking wheel bolts. Now let's go ahead and continue on. We have our interiors. I'm going to stick with the standard black interior. You can also do the slate gray, or we have this third one here, which is the limestone beige over black. In this application, again, we don't have a bunch of room to be maybe sprucing up with full leather or anything like that. So we're just going to keep it with standard interior. I don't see anything wrong with that. So we'll just continue on. Now the seats, I always skip the seats because we're going to be selecting a package that is going to give us some different seats. So no need to select this right now. We're going to skip deviated seat centers and stitching. That would be if we were getting full leather. So I'm going to go packages. Highly recommend the premium package. So if you ever want to know what is on a particular package here on any Porsche, you can click on the eye and it's going to give us what is exactly part of that. So in this case, we have the fixed panoramic roof glass, which I think is very, very nice. It lets you kind of look up at the sky. LED headlights, including PDLS, or Porsche Dynamic Lighting System, so just upgraded headlights. There's our 14-way seats. That's part of the reason we did not select seats in that last application, and it's already part of this package. So here the seats are. We also have lane change assist, which is going to be 3 little dots in the side mirrors. They're going to light up orange if somebody is in your blind spot, so that's great. Seat ventilation, if you're in one of those hotter climates, it's nice to be able to maybe pre-cool your Taycan or even have the seat ventilation come on so maybe your back doesn't get quite as sweaty. Surround view, that's going to be a 360 camera. You have a front camera, rear camera, 2 side cameras, which are actually going to be under the exterior mirrors. We also have the power folding mirrors, so you can just fold in the mirrors if you're going into a tighter spot, or if you lock your Taycan, mirrors will automatically fold in. Ambient lighting, which is you can change the color on the inside of the car, and then a storage package, which is below that center screen, just gives you like a little rubber mat. Maybe you can put your phone or keys or something below that. Now, you're going to notice that this package has changed compared to the previous premium package. We are missing one key component, and that is the Bose surround sound system. Porsche, for the time being, has actually gotten rid of the Bose surround sound system, as we are having a pretty significant chip shortage for not only the Taycan but the Cayenne, as well as some other models. So Porsche has stopped that on the Taycan as well as Taycan 4S. If you're going GTS, you can still option it for the time being, but that's for the remainder of model year 23. You will not be able to get Bose surround sound on the rear wheel drive variant of the Taycan. So I'm going to go ahead and hit select section. This is going to add 5960. Once you select it, it's going to say, hey, do you want to add even more things than just the premium package? In this case, do you want to add the panoramic roof with variable light control? Very cool roof where it's going to change the opacity of the fixed panoramic roof. We don't have the budget for that today, so we're going to continue on. You can also upgrade to LED matrix headlights as well. We're not going to be doing that. Seat ventilation, we have that. It's also going to, hey, do you want to add massaging seats? Not in this case. 14-way seats, again, that's what we have. We can also upgrade to the 18-way, a little bit more aggressive side bolstering on your legs as well as your back. We're not going to do that, even though that is a pretty good deal, $430 extra. Then, do you want to add any other packages? In this case, remote park assist, including lane change assist, or the technology package, which is going to give you heads-up display, remote park assist with LCA, and passenger display. Don't really have the budget for that today, as that would add an additional $43.40 to our car. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to the center guy, select lane change assist. There's our 5960, accept changes. Technology package, we already went over what that is. So I'm going to go and close the packages section. Now in the seats, we're going to have the 2+1. Let's say you have, a lot of times you're going to be sitting a lot of people in the back, 3 people. Maybe you would add this. It's a pretty small seat, so maybe only for a child, but maybe a good option is you cannot add this after the fact. $480. If not, of course, the Taycan just comes with 4 seats. Now, exterior, we can spruce up the exterior, add some sport design packages, either painted or carbon fiber. Going to change the front bumper, side skirts, back bumper. In this case, that's a lot, is $95.60. That would just rip right through our $100K budget. So we're not going to do any of these at the moment, but it would change just the aggressiveness of how it looks. Exterior mirrors and exterior color, we're going to keep skipping all this stuff. We get carbon fiber side mirrors, window trim in high gloss black. It comes as a flat back as standard. Window trim in silver, that may work for this build as they've got a little bit of silver on those wheels, but I'm just going to continue on. Door handles in high gloss black. Don't think that looks great on the new generation door handle, whether it's 992 or Taycan. I think it looks a little funny to actually add that option in the past. Probably looked, to me, it looked pretty cool. I think it looks a little strange, so we're going to skip that. We're going to do the under putter light projectors. I always like to do that. Once you open the door on your Taycan, it's going to say Porsche down on the ground. It's always a pretty cool option. Again, everything I'm adding to this Taycan is all going to be preference and how you like to use your car. This is just one take on how I would build it if I was doing it under 100K. Model designation on doors, I would just say Taycan here, bespoke decal set. I'm not going to do any of that. Now, I do like to do deletion of model designation. On the back, of course, it says Porsche right under the lighting or light strip. And it says Taycan. I like it to be clean. Say no Taycan. Love the way that looks. This looks a little bit cleaner in my opinion. So we're going to exit the exterior. We have the performance section. Now, car automatically has a 2-speed transmission. You'll see that's going to be a zero cost option. Most other electric cars in the segment just have a single speed, like a Tesla. This car, if you start, especially in Sport or Sport Plus, car will start in the first gear and you'll feel it shift. So that's something that Porsche has different than maybe other electric car manufacturers. Also have adaptive air suspension. That's the ability to raise and lower the vehicle if you would like, with PASM, which is the ability to stiffen or soften the suspension. That part's standard on this Taycan, but if you want the air suspension portion, you can option it on this car, or it's standard on the Taycan 4S. So we're going to skip that. Porsche torque vectoring is going to break the inner brake as you're going around the bend. Again, that's more kind of race car stuff. We're going to continue on. Sports chrono package. I really do like this package. It's going to give you the mode dial switch on the steering wheel, and also is going to give you the clock up on the dash, the sports chrono clock. We may end up adding that here in a moment. So let's go ahead and continue on. Got rear axle steering. It's going to turn the rear wheels. If you guys want to check out what is rear axle steering, I actually did a video on that, so the link will be up here above. You can check that out. Then we have the Porsche surface coated brakes. So it's a little bit larger brake and also has less brake dust and lasts a little bit longer. Maybe something you may want to think about. That's $34.90, but we're not doing that on today's build. So let's go ahead and continue on. We're going to go to lights and vision. We already upgraded to PDLS. That was part of the premium package. Then we've got LED matrix headlights, glacier blue. It's even a little bit more fancy, but we're not going to do that in this case. I think those standard lights are plenty. Light strip Porsche logo in black. Pretty cool. It's $850. That's going to significantly hit our options there. And then we've got the fixed panoramic roof, part of the premium package. If we want to have the thermally insulated glass, of course, that'll help keep the sound out and keep our cabin noise in. So maybe a good option. And the panoramic roof with variable light control really changes it really rapidly. The opacity, pretty cool, but we don't have that extra $3290 for today's build. Now, comfort assistance systems. We already went over a lot of these items, but there is that adaptive cruise control and the Porsche InnoDrive, including adaptive cruise control. This is the ability to have the car follow the speed in front of you. There's a sensor in front of the Taycan. I actually did a video on this a while back, so if you guys want to check that out, link will be up above. What's the difference between ACC and Porsche InnoDrive with ACC? So we're going to go ahead and continue on here. And then I already selected this as well, preparation for Porsche dash cam front and rear. So that's just the pre-wiring. You're still gonna have to buy the actual physical camera and install it on the glass of the Taycan. But this is pretty cool. Let's say you're going around the track and you have a pretty good driving line. This is so you can check your driving. Or if you're driving on the street, somebody cuts you off and you get in an accident, you'll have footage to prove that maybe it wasn't you that caused the accident and it was the other person. So that's a pretty nice option to add. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and close comfort assistance systems. We have the interior. We already added quite a few of these items as part of that premium package. We can also add heated rear seats. Maybe you have younger children and you're living in a cold climate. 4-zone climate control, massaging seats. I do like the heated GT steering wheel, especially for those in colder climates. Gives it a little bit smaller wheel, a little bit more of a sporty feel for $280. But it's actually going to make us add the chrono. So I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to add it to this build. So heated GT sports steering wheel. You must add chrono. So totally cool. We're going to add it. Gonna keep going. Interior accents in neodyne. That's a gold looking accent, so you can see what it looks like here. It's gonna add it to the side, cup holders, around the air vents. If you have chrono, change that as well. Dark silver and exterior color. So in this case, it would make it actually white, but we're gonna continue on. Maybe we'll add that later. Now, smoking package. In the past, would give you a cigarette lighter in the center console. Now what it does is it just adds a ashtray to the center cup holder. So it's a zero cost option. Why not just add it? You can always just pull it right out, almost like a cup. So we're going to add smoking package in this case. Not going to change the seat belts or any fire extinguisher or changing the chrono clock. You can change the clock up on the dash. I'm going to skip all that for now. Again, this is how I would build it. There's a lot of different preferences and a lot of different uses for Taycans and how people use them. So maybe you have other things you would like. This is just one of my takes on how I would build a car. Of course, there's thousands of different ways you could build a Taycan. So let's go ahead and continue on. Got the leather interior. Now this is where you can add maybe the crest to the center console, maybe up on the headrest. I think that's usually pretty a sporty look. So I'm going to do that. Actually, I'm going to do Porsche crest on the front as well as the rear of the headrest. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Personalized floor mats, deep pile, just a thicker, almost looks like 70s carpet a little bit. You can do that as well. Personalized luggage mats. You can get into the weeds just a little bit, but I'm going to skip some of these items here. So let's go ahead and go up. We can also do Race Tex, interior wood, carbon fiber. That's going to change the inside sections of our Taycan. So it's going to be pretty expensive, but in this case, I'm going to skip it for now because as you can see, we're getting pretty close to that budget of 100 grand. We're at 98,870. So I'm not going to select any of those, but you always can, of course. Audio communication, passenger display. I did a video on that if you guys want to check that out as well. Link will be up here above. We got the Burmeister sound system. So again, we talked about Bose is no longer part of the premium package because of that chip shortage for Taycan 4S. That's a $7,000 option. And then you can also add the preparation for rear seat entertainment. So we've got that. We're not going to do that for today. Now, e-mobility, this is a pretty big section here. We have the included charging with the Taycan, so that's at Electrify America charging stations, up to 30 minutes per session, free charging, which is great. That's zero cost. Now, we have the Performance Battery Plus. What exactly does that do? That doesn't give us a faster 0 to 60 time on the Taycan rear-wheel drive. It gives us just more range on the Taycan. So how much range do you ask? Well, Porsche actually partnered with a company called AMCI, where they did some real-world testing on how far the Taycan can go. I'll leave the link down below, but you're probably looking at about 40 to 50 miles difference from the standard battery the car already comes with to this Performance Battery Plus 93 kilowatt hours. So I'll leave that up to you guys if that's something that you would like to option on your Taycan. I think electric sports sound is an awesome add. Just enhances the sound of the electric motor on the inside as well as the outside of the car. Gives you a little bit more sense of speed. Power charge port door, you can just swipe your finger and it will open up the charge port door on either side. Porsche Intelligent Range Manager. This is, let's say you're going from here in SoCal over to Las Vegas. It'll say, hey, based on your current state of charge, if you switch your Taycan into range mode, you may be able to eliminate stops because it's going to help conserve power. This is also something you can download via FOD or function on demand via the My Porsche website directly to your car via a trial period or forever. If you want to check out a video on what is FOD and what are some of the functions that are offered at the moment, I did do another video on that. Link will be up above as well. 19.2 kilowatt onboard charger. I don't think it's necessary. Our Taycans charge at home with the standard charger at 9.6 kilowatt hours, so I think that's fine for now. But this maybe would help future-proof your car just a little bit. Onboard 150, 400 volt. Most of our chargers now for Taycan at Electrify America are pretty much all 800 volts, so I don't think that's necessary. Mobile Charger Connect is just a fancy charger you can get with a very nice screen, and you can also add a 25-foot cable. I did a video on this as well. Link will be up above if you want to check out what exactly that is. And then we just have a different type of socket that you plug into the wall. So Taycan comes standard with a NEMA 1450 plug, but maybe you've had a Tesla in the past, car came with a 650 plug, and instead of having to change that wall plug on your wall, you can just get this adapter and plug it straight into maybe your pre-existing Tesla charger. So that's just that section of it. So again, Performance Battery Plus, it would break our bank and take us well over 100 grand in this case. Maybe something that you may want to add if that extra range is something that's important to you. But something to think about is how often do we drive well over 200 miles a day? In my circumstance, it's very infrequent, and maybe for some of you, maybe the same thing. So just something to think about. Delivery experience, then of course we can pick up our Taycan at Los Angeles or in Atlanta. So I think that's a pretty sweet add as well. But as you can see, we are right below that $100,000 marker. So again, it's kind of all preference at this point. What would you like to add to your Taycan? Maybe you want to add the 2+1 because you have a bunch of kids in the back at times. Maybe you want to add something in the interior. So it's kind of all up to you on exactly what you would like. Maybe you want to add the interior accents to dark silver, $650. It's going to take a moment. It's going to change the interior accents, and that's going to take us to $100,000. So hope this was a good update video and you guys liked it. Again, we did this in the past, but the price has increased quite a bit on the Taycan, as everything has in our world today. So again, if you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below, or you can send me an email to pcarwhisperer@gmail.com. I really appreciate you guys' support. We have a lot of great things in store for 2023, a lot of really cool giveaways that we're all planning. So again, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.